Right guys, Shay here, uneven mount, hope you guys are well. So, I just wanted to do a video because Steven Smith has been impressing me a lot recently in the white ball arena. Obviously, he didn't have the greatest IPL, but he scored the two 62 ball hundreds in the two ODIs. And I wanted to really kind of have a quick chat and do a quick video because I'm thinking, I've for long have said that Virat Kohli is by far the best batsman in the world. Not by far, but definitely best batsman in the world. Obviously, if you divvied up Test, ODIs and T20s, then the Tests holds the most ranking points, you want to call it that. And I would say Steven Smith's the best Test batsman in the world, I would say, on form. Especially since he came back from, obviously, his ban. But Virat Kohli's been, for me, head and shoulders the best white ball batsman between the two of them. That being said, in the last kind of 18 months, Steven Smith really has to start to acquit himself in the white ball arena, especially ODIs. I start to think, you know what, is Steven Smith, is he actually as good as Virat Kohli, getting a lot closer? Is he really bridging the gap? On Virat Kohli, I thought about it, I was like, you know what, let me just have a quick check at the stats. So when I brought it up, I was like, okay, let me just go and see here. And I basically took the stats from February 2019 up until today, or a few days ago, I think December 3rd. And so look at initially Steven Smith. Actually, in fact, let's just start with Virat Kohli, obviously the same period. And I looked at it and I went, okay, so in the same period since February, so what's that? That's like 22 months. Virat Kohli's played 29 matches, average of 58. This coffee's like cold now. And then I went and saw Steven Smith. So let me just check him. So yeah, he's played 20 matches, so obviously 9 less matches than Virat Kohli. He's averaging 49.84. So he's still a bit behind. He's 8 runs behind average per innings. And then you go into who he played in this period. So I looked at it and I thought, okay, you know what? If you look at, like, for example, Virat Kohli, he's done very well against Australia. He's played 12 matches in this period, to home and away. And he's averaging 62. 748 runs at 62 with 200s. He played with Pakistan in the World Cup. I'm trying to ignore the World Cup, to be honest with you. He played 7 matches against the West Indies. The West Indies, at home, you can always fill your boots, can't you, to be honest. And he scored, he averaged 79 in those matches. And he played 4 games against New Zealand away, and they flopped in that series. I remember that, obviously he didn't do very well at all. He only averaged 19. So, West Indies, he played, and that was at home and away. And he did very well, obviously, especially away. He was phenomenal. He averaged 234, ridiculous, in those 3 matches. So, yeah, I mean, great. West Indies, fine. But I guess I say, with New Zealand away, tough batting conditions, flopped. Australia did extremely well. Okay, so that's, look at the big games, the big series. So, you look at Steven Smith. So, 7 games against India. Obviously away from home as well. Away from home, he's phenomenal. In that earlier season tour, he's averaged 114.5. It was fantastic. In those 3 games, got 100. So, but India, he averaged almost 86, 514 runs in 7 matches, highest 131 at 86. 4 games against South Africa. There would have been the 4 matches here. 4 matches, in South Africa. I wish it was there. A lot warmer here. But anyway, so 4 matches, flopped, 29 average. 2 games against England, which obviously was in England, averaged 61.5. So he's had like a flop series away, just like Kohli did. He flopped against South Africa, he flopped against New Zealand, Kohli flopped against New Zealand. But the reality is, he is bridging that gap. Obviously, in current form, what you're seeing is now with Steven Smith is that his batting, his outrageous test batting ability, and his performances in the Test arena is now infusing into his white ball cricket. I don't think he'll ever really be on the same level as Virat Kohli in T20s, but I would say, would you then argue and say that it's Steven Smith, if he can bridge the gap a little bit more and go from 50 to say 53, 54 average, and Kohli's averaging around 58, and he's performing well against big nations, because you would argue that it's more alien to bat in India than it is for Virat Kohli to bat in Australia. Is that a fair point? Maybe, maybe not. I mean, Virat Kohli's always performed well in Australia since his first tour. Did he tour 11-12? I think he did, didn't he? He definitely toured 14-15. He was phenomenal then. And obviously 2 years ago, he's fantastic as well. Did he tour in 2011-12? I think he did. I think he did okay then as well. He was also a young 23-year-old, but I checked that. But yeah, I think you could argue that it's slightly more alien for, say, Stephen Smith to make runs in India, especially in India as well. Against India is obviously a very good white ball side. So I just feel like Smith, so if I look at the stats, I mean, scoring runs against West Indies, if you look at Stephen Smith, he's really filled his boots against India and England in a couple of games. And South Africa, obviously, didn't do so well. He only played West Indies once, and he scored 73. That'll be in the World Cup. So yeah, I should have actually checked out the World Cup stats, because that would have been a fair assumption. I mean, look here now. I mean, for Eclipse, he played 9 games in England for Kohli. So that's obviously the World Cup. And he averaged 55, whereas Stephen Smith only averaged 37, 38. But then obviously he had the tour against England as well this year. So obviously including this period. So my point I'm trying to say is that I feel like Stephen Smith is making his runs against better opposition, and he is getting closer to Virat Kohli. And I would say, if Stephen Smith gets a little bit closer to Virat Kohli in the ODI arena, he's officially the best batsman in the world. I think you could then make a very strong case. People say it now. People say Stephen Smith is the best batsman in the world. If you're Australian, you'll say that. If you're Indian, you'll say Virat Kohli is, because T20 cricket has a lot of merit nowadays. You can't come with this whole kind of draconian, kind of pedestrian, kind of purist, it's really kind of like archaic mentality, like, oh, it's all about Test cricket. Test cricket I absolutely love, but I also really love ODI and T20 cricket as well, in a different way. They have their place in the game, they do, and you cannot argue with Kohli's stats in the T20 arena. It's just phenomenal. He's a phenomenal player, and even in this, if you look actually now, just quickly, I just want to bring up the IPL T20 stats, because I think it's also important to measure as well how they've done in recent times in the same pitches. I mean, if you look here, Virat Kohli with 15 games, 466 runs, an average of 42, strike rate 121. We go down the order, and we should see Stephen Smith here, 14 games, 1 less, 311 runs at 26 average, 131 strike rate. So slightly better strike rate, wasn't it? That slightly better strike rate, but far less, 150 less runs, and much less an average. I mean, Kohli 42, Steve Smith 26. Now Steve Smith obviously in a side that finished bottom, obviously Bangalore, got into the playoffs, but Kohli's always outperformed Steve Smith. And that's neither conditions. It is more conducive, more alike to to India conditions, but still, it's still not home conditions for either Smith or Kohli, and Kohli's performed better, and that has to be taken into account here. You can't just say it's just all about Test match cricket and ODI cricket as well. You have to take T20s into account. I'm just saying though, Test cricket does have the most priority. ODI's next, and he probably T20 third. So if Stephen Smith can bridge that gap, because I think you'd argue still Kohli's the best batsman in the 2 white ball formats, and Smith is by far the best batsman in Test cricket. But if Smith gets close in the ODI format, I feel like he's the best batsman in the world. And I don't think you can argue that. I think he's the best batsman in the world then. Even if Kohli's still so far ahead in the T20 arena, I still feel like Smith is the best. I think Steve Smith's absolutely brilliant. I think there's some people who just obsessed with batting. You just get that feeling. I just love to bat and bat and bat. I think Alistair Cook was like that in a very kind of a less of an idiosyncratic way. I think Alistair Cook just loved batting, just could just bat all day. I was thinking someone like him. I think Fafy Garcia, some of the other guys, when he gets into it, it's someone who's knuckle down, just loves to bat all day. I think Marcus Labaskakny, same thing, just loves to bat all day. I think Dominic Sibley, another guy like that, loves to bat all day. I think there's just batsmen out there who just love the game so intensely, love the game so much, they just can't stand it to give it away. And I think Stephen Smith very much is at the upper echelons of that bracket, and I feel that way. You know, he just loves to bat. I mean, I think Cheswal Pujara is another guy at Test level, just loves to bat all day. But there's like an obsession. They're totally in love with the game. I really feel that with Stephen Smith. He's totally infatuated by cricket, and that's all he wants to do. You know, it's like, you know, that dream, isn't it? As a kid, you like find what you love to do and do it. And that's what he's done. He found what he loves to do, and he's done it. He's made a career out of it. He's monetised it. Fair play to him. He's a brilliant batsman. Australian legend. Will go down as a legend. Phenomenal player. And I just wonders. I feel we have not seen the best of Stephen Smith yet in the white ball arena. And I think we maybe have seen the best of Virat Kohli. I don't think Virat Kohli is going to get much better, but I think because the gap's been so wide between Smith and Kohli in the white ball arena, especially the ODI arena, sorry, T20, but some of the ODIs now, that there was always room to grow for Stephen Smith. And I think that, you know, since his ban, I think he's felt really, you know, the whole phrase, you don't know what you've got till it's gone. I think he realised, you know, how much he loves cricket when he made that mistake. Obviously, he came back and he thought, I'm just going to fill my boots now. I'm going to take every game and just cherish it. And that's why you've seen such phenomenal form since he came back almost 2 years ago. And I think you're going to see more from Stephen Smith at white ball level. I think he's going to continue to be phenomenal at Test level, and I think you're going to see more from another gear for him to go. I think he's like third, fourth gear. He's still going to fifth. I think Kohli is pretty much at fifth now, has been for a while. So I think by the time the careers are done, if they go on the same trajectory, I feel like Smith's going to be regarded as a better batsman than Kohli. Even though I think right now Kohli's better. Yeah, I do. Anyway, guys, leave your thoughts below. Let me know what you think. Are you a Kohli fan? Are you a Smith fan? Do you think that Smith's already a better batsman because of what he's done in the Test arena? You think Kohli deserves more credit as a Test batsman? Maybe not getting enough credit. I think he's a fantastic Test batsman, but I do think quite comfortably Smith is a best Test batsman. If he's going to pick a Test 11 tomorrow, and I'm only got to pick between Kohli and Smith, there's absolutely no doubt in my mind I'd go with Smith over Kohli. And right now, T20 arena, I go with Kohli, no doubt, hands down. ODI arena, I still go with Kohli now, but another year of performing at the same level these guys, I feel like Smith will overtake him or get very close to him, and that will sway people's general opinion. I think people who are in Camp Kohli. So yeah, let me know your thoughts, guys. Anyway, guys, that's it from me. If you like the content, please do like, comment, subscribe, as I always say. And yeah, always do. If you can subscribe, that'd be great. I think I'm on like 98 subscribers, so a couple more would be great before Christmas. Get to 100, would be great. Yeah, if you like the content, yeah, as I always say, please do subscribe, and hopefully I will see you on the next one. Cheers.